Good morning, everyone. I'm Sadie Parafinick, the President and CEO of Envision Greater Fond du Lac. It is my pleasure to welcome you to the 2021 annual meeting, hopefully the shortest annual meeting ever. Today, we will take a look back at 2020, provide you with an update on where we are headed as your combined chamber and economic development organization, then conclude with the announcement of our award winners. Please take some time to read through our 2020 annual report for a more in-depth analysis of what we accomplished throughout the year. Ignite Small Business and Startup Support is now a program of Envision and got a rebrand. YPF continued to host programming and events both virtually and in person. Drive-through Egg Venture replaced Breakfast on the Farm. Youth Apprenticeship continued during COVID, where we placed 95 high school students with employers, despite receiving funding for only 72. We participated in a pilot program with Fond du Lac County as part of a broadband task force. Our membership retention rate was 90%. Thank you. Our Dine Local Golden Ticket giveaway, sponsored by Society Insurance, infused more than $31,000 into our member restaurants and taverns. We convened the reopened Fond du Lac County Task Force, where we collectively produced safe reopen guidelines, signage, employee screening tools, and a forum to share best practices. And lastly, we administered nearly $500,000 in loan and grant dollars for Fond du Lac County, the City of Fond du Lac, and the City of Waupun. I would next like to introduce Rick Froh, Envision Greater Fond du Lac's Chair of the Board of Directors, who will provide you with a look to the future. Welcome, Rick.
Thanks, Sadie. Let me just welcome everyone joining us for our virtual annual meeting. Welcome to my basement. I'm not very good at darts or ping pong, but it would appear that I should at least have a place to practice them. So we all are having a good time with virtual everything. Also, let me say congratulations to this year's honorees. You all make such a positive impact in the community. Thank you very much. We're looking forward to hearing more about them. Sadie was kind enough to introduce me. I'm celebrating 4 years on the Envision Greater Fond du Lac board this summer. And frankly, I'm very humbled to be serving as the board chair this year. Paul Reitz did such a fantastic job over the last 2 years. I've got some really big shoes to fill. I'll start my remarks by first thanking the staff that really do the work of Envision. Each of our program leaders brings an amazing level of passion and dedication to both their program areas as well as to the broader organization and the community. This is a team that's dedicated to making Greater Fond du Lac economically vibrant, and my personal vision is that Greater Fond du Lac becomes the most attractive community in all of Wisconsin. We are blessed with wonderful natural resources, a safe, affordable, and beautiful community. We also have an amazing coalition of generous business and government officials that support our organization. So let me also thank them, the business and government partners who provide us with so much support. I want to take a few minutes with you and look forward to our vision for the coming year and for the years to come. As I stated above, this organization is grounded in a vision of helping Greater Fond du Lac thrive via talent-led economic development. A little bit of a mouthful, but to me, that means that Greater Fond du Lac becomes the preferred place to live, to grow up, to have a family, and to work. That will yield us having the right kind of talent staying in Greater Fond du Lac and or being attracted to Greater Fond du Lac. With the right talent available, magic things can happen. Existing businesses can grow and thrive, and new businesses will be able to create a bright future here as well. Efforts like Lakeside Forward are intended to enhance and improve the amenities of the Greater Fond du Lac area and provide a gathering space for us to come together as a broad community. Under this umbrella of talent-led economic development, there's several key initiatives that I know the staff is really excited to get after in this year. On workforce development, we're bringing together creative workforce solutions that include special interest groups. People typically may have been a little bit harder to employ, and we're also working hard on solving transportation problems, which for those of you in business know sometimes is a real challenge to be able to get your associates to your facility. The Golden Shovel Site Verification Program is a really exciting program led by our economic development team. It gives the development ready land to site selectors and business owners looking to locate or expand. The first project that we have going is actually in the Fond du Lac County Aeronautical Park. So I think that's really exciting. Look forward to hearing more about that. The Fond du Lac Works website is in the midst of being rebranded to better fit our members' needs as a recruitment and retention tool. And as a side note, I've had a chance actually to use, some of the early beta versions of this, and it's been very helpful to educate people who are considering a move to Greater Fond du Lac as part of a job offer for working for Grande. So thanks to the team on that one. One of the core pieces of work that a chamber does is business retention and expansion program. And I know the team is doing a really good job of continuing that BRE effort. And then finally, I know that we will become a convener of diversity and inclusion and equity efforts across the community. I think that's going to be an exciting area for our community to come together on as well. And then finally, as we are all reminded with this virtual event, again, love having you all in my basement, 2020 has been a tough year. Some of our favorite events had to be reimagined, and I think Envision did a nice job of reimagining them, including this one. As cases drop in Greater Fond du Lac and Wisconsin, and Kim and her fantastic team continue to help us distribute vaccines, we are looking forward to resuming some of these events in a more traditional way. I know two highlights that everybody's looking forward to. Breakfast on the Farm, which will be hosted by the LeClaire Family Creamery, will be held as normal on June 27th. And then Young Professional Week will return to a normal in-person as well, scheduled for the week of May 14th through the 22nd. I know many of you are probably working from home, trying to be extra cautious. Again, we're so excited to see those case rates dropping. And like I said, I know Kim and her team are working diligently to help get vaccines distributed across Greater Fond du Lac. So finally, it's worth celebrating and acknowledging that Envision Greater Fond du Lac has weathered the COVID storm pretty well. Sadie mentioned 90% retention on our business partners have just been steadfast in their support as well. We really appreciate all that. This team has been incredibly agile. We've brought on a new executive director, CEO, in the midst of COVID. It was kind of weird to interview Sadie and not meet her, and then we finally did get to meet from 6 feet apart. But this has really resulted in a thriving, financially strong organization that, frankly, I'm really proud to be a part of. I know the entire team's committed to leverage this financial strength to continue to convene our community, to help it grow, thrive, and evolve to be the safest, most beautiful, and affordable community in Wisconsin. I hope you all are as excited as I am for what 2020 and beyond holds for both this great organization and this beautiful community. Thanks for joining us this morning.
Thank you, Rick. And I can honestly say that we are all just as excited for what 2021 and beyond holds as a team. We will now continue our tradition of honoring individuals and businesses who embody the spirit of our communities by being bold, innovative, and impactful. I would like to welcome Joe Van Huysen, Director of Membership and Programs, who will serve as our MC for the remaining portion of this event. Joe?
Well, thank you, Sadie, and thank you, Rick. As Sadie mentioned, we will now honor those who have done so much to move our community forward in a progressive manner. Our first award is the Volunteer of the Year Award. This award is presented through the generous support of the Fond du Lac Area Foundation, and they will present the Volunteer of the Year with a $1,000 donation, of which they can direct to the charity of their choice. So, I have the pleasure of introducing our Volunteer of the Year. So, before I even knew Craig much, he had already bought me a cup of coffee. Let me explain. I knew it was him because Annie Culver handed me his card, and she said, "Your coffee is on this guy." That card, because I thought that I'd ever need a commercial loan, but because I was struck by that generosity. Who does that, right? Who is this guy? Plus, I'm no dummy. I figured, if he's buying me a coffee before he even knows me, just think of what I can get out of this guy once I've introduced myself, right? Turns out a lot. You see, Craig might be the most intensely generous person that I know. Since moving to Fond du Lac, he has jumped with both feet into service for his community. He gives with such dedication and consistency for a variety of Envision programs that he's often been mistaken for an employee. I could list all the committees and programs and organizations that he's volunteered for, but between this speech and Craig's speech, we only have 4 minutes, so I don't think we can get to all of them. But suffice it to say, if you're attending an event in the greater Fond du Lac area, there's a good chance that Craig is there, or that he planned it, or that he financed it. So whether you volunteered alongside Craig, or you've talked with him at a community event, or you've had your head grazed by one of his errant golf shots, the odds are he's made an impression on you. I'm turning the page, Craig. So Craig, you have bought me more beers and cups of coffee than I care to admit. You've been intensely generous with your time, your talent, and your treasure. We are proud to have you within the Envision family. We're proud to see you contributing so much to the greater Fond du Lac area, and I'm proud to call you my friend. Congratulations to our 2020 Volunteer of the Year, Craig Mutch.
Thank you, Joe, for the introduction. I'll be sure to keep buying those beers and those coffees for you. And congratulations to all the award recipients. Thank you to Envision for this award, especially considering the numerous volunteers that are very deserving of it. With being so close to Valentine's Day, special thanks to my wife for allowing me to spend time volunteering without getting too upset with me. Also, thank you to my employer, Horicon Bank, for prioritizing being involved in the communities it serves. I place a high value on volunteering, in particular with the various Envision program areas, and would encourage everyone to do so as well. The Envision staff and its many volunteers are second to none. In an effort to keep this annual meeting the shortest in its history, I will not take the full time allotted to me and to Joe, and will end with the following. If you haven't signed up to volunteer with Envision, I'd strongly encourage you to do so. I'm sure you'll find a program area or two that matches your interests. If you are looking for other ways to volunteer in the Fond du Lac community, I'd encourage you to visit fondyvolunteers.org. Once again, thank you for this volunteer award.
Congratulations again, Craig, very well deserved. Next, we will move on to our Business Excellence Awards. This year, we will recognize 2 businesses within the greater Fond du Lac area. The Business Excellence Award is Envision Greater Fond du Lac's take on recognizing a business for meeting an existing need or demonstrating important values in our community. I'd like to welcome Bree Zock, Assistant Director of Agricultural Programs and the Director of Young Professionals of Fond du Lac, to introduce our first winner.
Society Insurance has been a staple in this community since they moved to Fond du Lac in 1918. Through name changes and updates, Society's commitment to the community has remained the same for over 100 years. Their commitment to their employees is also unmatched. During this difficult year, Society pulled together their entire management group to provide their employees the proper tools to prepare for the unexpected. They encourage their employees to work from home and take the time needed to help their children with virtual learning. Rick Park said it best, "We will take care of our employees first and foremost." In the 75 years that Society Insurance has been a member of Envision, they have been a top stakeholder for sponsoring the Golden Ticket giveaway, which brought over $31,000 back to the restaurants in Fond du Lac County, supporting the HR Association, Leadership Fond du Lac, and the Safety Council, and we cannot forget about Lemonade Day. Society Insurance has been a corporate member and a sponsor for the Young Professionals of Fond du Lac, continually supporting their employees to join, having over 50 employees taking advantage of the corporate membership. Society has been the leading partner of YPF Week and an executive partner in Breakfast with Champions. All this doesn't even chip away at what else they've done for the community, and that's why I'm proud to present Society Insurance with the Business Excellence Award. Let's welcome Amy Collette.
Good morning, everyone. First and foremost, I just want to thank everyone on behalf of Society Insurance for this recognition. We are very humbled by it. We do not see how we tackled 2020 as going above and beyond. It's just simply what we needed to do. As you heard Rick Park's quote, we're going to take care of our employees first. Our employees are the core of our business, and taking care of them is always a top priority. They persevered through one of our toughest years in history. Not only was there a pandemic, but we had civil unrest and a derecho that added to our business challenges in 2020. It truly was a perfect storm when it came to all of the challenges we had to tackle. Our strong employee base got us through this and continued to provide us the high level of service to our customers that they deserved. We, in turn, needed to make sure that we were here for them. We mobilized our entire office to work remote, and it was not an easy feat, but all businesses had to deal with that. We were not alone in that. We knew that we had to focus on the how to make it seamless for our employees. We did that by providing flexibility and support to our employees along the way. We adjusted our flexible scheduling model, knowing that there would be possible disruptions while working from home, especially given learning went remote. We also provided a number of trainings to our employees to help them transition to remote working, but also to remind them of the importance of self-care, coping with stress, and balancing virtual learning, and so on. We set up a new communication medias and created specific intranet pages dedicated to the pandemic to have a one-stop shop for everyone. Our CEO sent out a weekly video update to keep everyone connected. He still does this today. It goes out every Friday. We truly were all in this together. As a company, though, we found ourselves very fortunate. We did not have to reduce staff or compensation levels at all throughout 2020. We had many employees volunteer and jump in to assist in new areas of the company that workloads were taxed due to the pandemic and what had taken place with all of the challenges that we had. So they took what was regularly not their work and it became their work. And it was just so that their fellow coworkers would not get burned out or buried with all the work that they had. I was so proud to see the teamwork that our company had in 2020, but our employees didn't stop there. They wanted to do more, help more of those in need that had fallen on harder times due to the pandemic. As a company, we provided a matching opportunity for our employees to give to Feeding America of Northeast Wisconsin. They welcomed the challenge, and together we raised over $30,000 for that organization, but we didn't stop there. Our charity committee still saw a need within the Fond du Lac area. We put out a community challenge to match a $10,000 donation that we made to the Fond du Lac Area Foundation's Disaster Relief Fund, and our community stepped up, exceeding that match challenge to $12,000. So in total, there were $22,000 that were able to be provided relief funds to help small businesses and nonprofits who were having financial struggles. And lastly, we supported our policyholders. As many of you know, we jumped at the chance to sponsor the Golden Ticket giveaway Envision hosted this past fall. This program helps support our local bars and restaurants, which is the bread and butter of our business. We want to see those small businesses survive and thrive, and we were happy to sponsor that program. I want to again thank Envision, Greater Fond du Lac, for this recognition. Thank our employees for their strong commitment to who we are and what we do and all that we accomplished in 2020. It was a great honor to accept this award. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you and congratulations again, Amy and Society Insurance. Next, I'd like to ask James Cleveland, our Vice President of Economic Development, to announce our second winner of the Business Excellence Awards.
Good morning, everyone. Thanks for joining us this morning for this virtual annual meeting. Today, I have the pleasure to introduce one of our Business Excellence Awards. This company and its owners are the embodiment of entrepreneurial spirit by combining passion with innovation to take an idea to a thriving business in downtown Ripon. Today, we are very pleased to recognize Ernesti Farms for their achievements. Ernesti Farms is an indoor urban vertical farm located in downtown Ripon. Under the ownership of Brian and Leslie Ernst, the business grows an assortment of microgreens, herbs, and mushrooms. Utilizing hydroponics and a vertically stacked system of plants. The business was founded in 2012 by Brian Ernst. At the time, Brian was working as a geologist for an environmental engineering company in Milwaukee. At the onset, He set out to see how densely food could be grown in an indoor urban environment. During the experimental phase, Brian experimented with over 50 different plants to see how each responded to the changing levels of light, pH, CO2 dissolved oxygen, electrical connectivity, and planting density. In 2014, Ernesti Farms began formal operations in Green Bay, Wisconsin, and began selling to area grocery stores. In the fall of 2014, Brian moved the operation to his hometown and the historic downtown district of Ripon, where it continues to grow and expand. Ernesti Farms is able to grow produce year-round by adapting traditional food production methods with their high-tech hydroponic growing system. Hydroponics is the growing of plants without using soil. Traditionally, plants absorb nutrients required to grow from the soil, and hydroponics instead delivers a crop-specific nutrient blend directly to the roots while they are suspended in inert, sterile media. The tailored growth program results in larger yields and faster turnover rates. In traditional hydroponic farm, plants are grown in a greenhouse on a single level. In vertical farming, the growing levels are stacked on top of each other in unused urban spaces. With their space-saving design and proprietary technology, their vertical farm allows them to grow 80% more produce while using 90% less water. Currently, the business sells hydroponically grown produce and mushrooms to grocery stores and restaurants throughout Northeast Wisconsin. With the 2020 expansion, Ernesti Farms will realize an expanded market share and be able to enter new markets beyond the current range. This expansion included the purchase and renovation of a 20,000 square foot grocery store in downtown Ripon, enhancing an already thriving and vibrant downtown and creating employment opportunities for the residents. Please join me in congratulating Brian and Leslie Ernst on receiving a Business Excellence Award.
Thank you very much. We're very honored and humbled by the recognition. First we want to say thank you to Envision Greater Fond du Lac for the help with our expansion. We want to say thank you to John Bartz with WEDC, Craig T-Bon with Ripon Downtown, Lori Shady, and we specifically want to thank Jim Cleveland. Without his help securing loans with Envision Greater Fond du Lac and without helping Craig with our CDI application, our expansion this year never would have gone as smooth as it actually did. And so, 2020 was a rough year for a lot of businesses, and it was a perfect year for us in our expansion to be doing construction. But we're very excited for what 2021 has to bring. Again, we just want to say thank you very much. We're very honored by the recognition, and we're excited to see what 2021 has to offer. Thank you again very much. We appreciate it.
Congratulations again to Ernesti Farms. Next, we'll move on to the Edenschneider Award. The Edenschneider Award is for an individual or an organization who has embodied the grit, determination, and barrier-busting qualities of the leaders memorialized in its namesakes, Mr. Jim Eden of Moraine Park Technical College and Mr. Tom Schneider of Silica for Your Home. We would not be here today celebrating these fine individuals and organizations if not for the vision that Jim and Tom shared for a business association that could accomplish more together. I would like to call back Sadie Parafinick to introduce this award.
Thanks, Joe. This year, I am proud to present the Edenschneider Award to Fond du Lac County Public Health. 2020 was a year like no other, but it was one that Kim Miller and her team had always prepared for. Their mission is to improve lives by preventing disease, protecting the community, and promoting healthy living for all. They have certainly protected our community before, during, and will continue to do so after this pandemic. The collaborative spirit of this award has been exemplified by Kim and her team. They have forged and built relationships with nonprofits, churches, K-12 schools, higher education, healthcare, restaurants, businesses, and manufacturing. Kim and her team built relationships based on trust and mutual respect. Public Health has a team of 34 staff and 20 contact tracers who have worked countless hours and went above and beyond each and every day. When Envision started the Reopen Fond du Lac County Task Force, Kim and Danielle were extremely supportive and have been on every Zoom call, answering questions, providing updates, and listening to what our community was saying. Kim's goal was and continues to be working with businesses and organizations to open and stay open, empowering them with reopen guidelines, employee screening tools, and signage. From all of us at Envision Greater Fond du Lac, congratulations to you, Kim, and your entire team for their dedication to keeping our community safe. It's my pleasure to introduce Kim Miller, Fond du Lac County Public Health Officer, who will be accepting this award.
Thank you so much for recognizing the health department with this award. I speak for our whole team when I say we are honored and humbled. Working in public health oftentimes means wearing many hats. And for every one of my staff, one of those hats happens to be emergency preparedness. In the public health crisis, we have a duty to respond to public health emergencies. While our team has practiced and planned for emergency preparedness events, there are unique challenges that presented themselves about this novel virus when it first emerged, as a lot was unknown. However, I can say our team was ready to respond in the best way we could. As Sadie mentioned, we have a team of over 30 health department staff willing to work together to protect and serve our community. While our team was tasked with leading our county through this pandemic, we knew we couldn't do it ourselves. Throughout this response, we formed new partnerships and strengthened existing ones. From traditional to non-traditional partners, we have worked with businesses, healthcare, higher education, K-12, nonprofits, churches, community groups, and so many more. These partnerships have helped us disseminate timely and credible information, supporting community mitigation strategies, building trust in public health, and also allowing us to share successes and challenges. While the pandemic has challenged all of us in different ways, we have always worked towards the same goal: to keep our community safe. We have gone through a tough year, putting trust in one another and working together to do our best we can for our community. It has not been easy, nor has it been a one-size-fits-all approach, but we have worked through many challenges, finding many solutions, and I believe we have come out stronger together as a community. We will continue to grow, learn, and improve as a community, a resilient community, and one that I believe is unique to Fond du Lac County, a county that I am proud to be part of, and a county that I call home. Thank you again to everyone for continued support in public health, so we can continue our mission of preventing disease, protecting the community, and promoting healthy living for all. Thank you.
Well, congratulations again, Kim, and the entire team at Fond du Lac County Public Health. Now on to our Lifetime Achievement Award. This continues the recognition tradition of the Fond du Lac County Economic Development Corporation. The Lifetime Achievement Award recognizes an individual who has demonstrated an abundant dedication of service to the greater Fond du Lac area, affecting positive, lasting change and creating a legacy for others to follow. I'd like to welcome Bernadette Erickson, Director of Business Client Services, to offer opening remarks on this year's Lifetime Achievement Award winner.
Good morning, everyone. It is my privilege to introduce the recipient of our Lifetime Achievement Award, Tom Harry. Now, to fully understand Tom's achievements, we must start at the beginning. Tom was born and raised in Fond du Lac and spent his formative years at St. Mary Springs Academy. It's evident that he stood out as a leader amongst his peers from the very beginning, as he was elected to the Student Council President post and led his beloved basketball team on many victories, earning himself an All-Conference Honorable Mention Award. Tom is a graduate of the prestigious West Point Military Academy, from which some of our nation's greatest leaders have emerged. He also earned an MBA from Syracuse University and attended the College of Armed Forces. In what became a 30-year military career, Tom went on to serve our country abroad in South Vietnam, South Korea, and Germany. as well as stateside at various military installations and the Pentagon in Washington, D.C. Through rigorous training, Tom earned the Airborne Ranger qualification and ultimately achieved the distinguished rank of Army Colonel. Following his retirement from the Army, Tom embarked on a career in the private sector. He spent the next 13 years in Racine, where he became the Vice President of Referee Enterprises, overseeing magazine publications and the National Association of Sports Officials. Tom eventually retired from this career, but lucky for us, his retirement didn't last too long. Having lived 28 different places in his life, I would say we sure are lucky that Tom and his wife, Sally, decided to choose Fond du Lac and return in 2005. At the spry age of 65, Tom decided to forego retirement for his next calling, serving as city manager from 2005 through 2012. Under his steadfast leadership, this city safely navigated its way through many turbulent times, from major flooding to a recession and other near disasters that could have been the ruin of Fond du Lac. But this city survived, and that is greatly in part to Tom's ability to lead others, keep lines of communication open, and see situations completely through to a reasonable solution. Once retired from the city manager position, Tom remained greatly involved in the community by serving on various boards and finding ways to give back, until the day he was asked to step out of retirement and off the golf course one more time to lead the Association of Commerce during a point of transition for the organization. Tom accepted the role of interim president and CEO for the Association of Commerce, leading the team for 16 short months and guiding the organization through its merger with the Fond du Lac County Economic Development Corporation as it became present-day Envision Greater Fond du Lac. I'm certain many others here today would agree that Tom is an unsung hero within our community. He continues to advance Fond du Lac as a board member for St. Mary Springs Academy and the Thelma Sadoff Center for the Arts, in addition to remaining actively involved in the Envision Initiative Strategic Planning Advisory Committee. However, beyond this, he is a dedicated supporter of individuals and initiatives that strive to do good in our community. I believe that Tom continues to teach us all the innate value of showing up and having a presence, whether that be physically or in a conversation. Tom's genuine compassion, ability to listen, and willingness to help despite the situation are only a few attributes that make him an admirable leader. Tom shared with me that he's very proud of having 4 separate and distinct careers. Within each, he attained a level of success. That after retiring from 2 full careers, he came back to where he started from and made meaningful contributions to the community he owed so much to in her time of need. He was quick to point out the support and resiliency of his wife, Sally, provided him the opportunity to be successful over the years, and that he's extremely proud to be the father of their 3 daughters. I asked Tom if he could pick one professional accomplishment of which he is most proud, and to that he readily stated, "My service to this country in the Army. At my core, I was and will always remain an Army officer." Any community should be so lucky as to have a leader such as Tom Harry. The only thing I've been able to find that he's not good at is staying retired. When asked what his goals are for 2021 and beyond, as you can imagine, Tom has many, including his plans to continue to be engaged and offer his unique capabilities to others and this community to keep thriving. Knowing that Tom and I share an affinity for the words of wisdom from intellectuals in bygone days, I felt it proper to end my remarks here. As Ralph Waldo Emerson declared, to laugh often and much, to win the respect of intelligent people and the affection of children, to earn the appreciation of honest critics and endure the betrayal of false friends, to appreciate the beauty, to find the best in others, to leave the world a bit better, whether by a healthy child, a garden patch, or a redeemed social condition, to know that even one life has breathed easier because you lived. This is to have succeeded. It is with deep respect and gratitude that I introduce to you the recipient of the Lifetime Achievement Award, Tom Harry.
Well, thanks. It's a big day. Thanks for joining me in the celebration of Sadie Parfinak's birthday. Probably didn't know that today was her birthday. Thanks, Bernadette, for staying faithful to the script that I provided. It's good of you. And most sincerely, thanks to the Envision board and staff and to the tons of people that I've associated with over the years that made this award possible. I know the past award winners. They were giants in our community, and I'm deeply honored to be included with them. If there's one word you could use to describe my career, it would be serendipity. The occurrence of events by chance that ended in a happy beneficial way. I was forced to be a lifelong learner, not because I was a gifted student, but by necessity. I had 3, maybe 4 entirely different careers. Military service, by my mother's encouragement when she saw that her best friend's son got an appointment to the Annapolis, she thought maybe I could qualify for West Point. 34 years later, I retired for the first time. In business, scooping custard at Gillies for 55 cents an hour that Tom paid at the time. And then later at Referee Magazine, where I scratched the itch being a lifelong basketball official. Later, after retiring for the second time, I joined the municipal government, the city of Fond du Lac. At the time, I had also reached full Social Security retirement age. And then later, the last time that Bernadette referred to, in nonprofit management with the Association of Commerce, where I met some of the people that you see on the screen today and enjoyed their friendship and association for what was supposed to be 2 months turned into close to a year and a half, thanks to Tom Schneider. But you know, when a Lifetime Achievement Award is given to one of our family members, it really should go to Sally for making loving homes out of the 24 dwellings that we lived in prior to coming back to Fond du Lac. And really also to our 3 daughters who transferred from their beloved high school in Germany to one of the largest high schools in suburban DC area and turned out okay. Success can be measured in many ways. David Brooks is a favorite of mine, New York Times columnist. He calls the traditional measures of success resume virtues. You did this, won this, had this job, etc. But the real measure of success, the prize, if you will, is significance. Making a difference in the community and the lives of others. That's what past winners of this award, Rain Rowland, Ellen Beekle, Daryl Trefford, Tom Rogers, and John Ahern did, and what I pledge to do, to continue to strive to do as long as I am able. So, Sally and I are right back where we started from, wiser from our experience, we hope. Coming back to Fond du Lac late in life has truly been a fairy tale, but the truth, our hearts never left. Thank you.
Congratulations, Tom. You have certainly made an impact in the community and in the lives of many who live here, and I'm proud to count myself in that number as well. We will end the awards presentation with the Entrepreneur of the Year Awards. In fact, we have 2 of them. So first, I'd like to welcome Amy Reese, Director of Agricultural Programs, to present the first award.
Good morning. Our first Entrepreneur Award recipient is Ledge Rock Distillery. Ledge Rock Distillery is owned and operated by Jay and Heidi Retzer with the help of their 3 sons. The distillery opened in June 2018 and is located on the family farm between Fond du Lac and Eden. The idea started when Jay decided he wanted to learn how to make whiskey. Considering they grow corn, soybeans, and wheat on 500 acres of land, it was a way to become the end user of their harvest, which makes Ledge Rock Distillery one of just 2 true farm distilleries in Wisconsin. They distill and bottle all of their spirits on site using the limestone filtered water of the Niagara Escarpment, otherwise known as the Ledge. Their spirits include vodka, gin, moonshine, bourbon, and corn whiskey. They are retailed at over 150 locations throughout Wisconsin. The distillery has been featured on the popular PBS TV show Outdoor Wisconsin, in addition to being the subject of articles in several statewide publications. In March 2020, when given the opportunity, Jay and Heidi made the decision to temporarily halt the production of spirits and transition the facility into the production of hand sanitizer to help combat the shortage that was occurring worldwide. Since that time, more than 2,000 gallons of sanitizer has been produced, bottled, and dispersed into our local community, with a percentage being donated to first responders, food banks, churches, school groups, and more. Although requests came in from across the country for the product, all sanitizer was sold locally only. It was a way for them to help the community, and the community was helping them in return. It is my pleasure to present the 2021 Envision Greater Fond du Lac Entrepreneur of the Year Award to Ledge Rock Distillery. Congratulations, Jay and Heidi.
Well, thank you, Amy. I don't know if you can hear me or not. Thanks to everybody at Envision and to the Fond du Lac community in general. You've shown us a lot of love and support since we've started this adventure that we're on, and it's greatly appreciated. We also want to thank our family, our entire family, extended family, and a lot of great friends that we have who really go out of their way to help us do what we do. We sure couldn't do it without you, so thank you. We're very honored and humbled to receive this award today, considering all the great business leaders and entrepreneurs that call Fond du Lac home. And so we really appreciate that the decisions that we've made over the past 5 years are getting noticed. For anybody that runs their own business, I'm sure you understand what the phrase blood, sweat, and tears is all about. I can verify that that's come into play for us, and that's what makes this all the more rewarding today. So once again, thank you for the recognition. I hope everybody on the call stays warm, stays safe, and from everybody at Ledge Rock, cheers.
Congratulations again, Jay and Heidi and the whole Retzer family. Next, I'd like to welcome Sarah Spang, our Director of Small Business and Entrepreneurship, to announce our second Entrepreneur of the Year.
Thank you so much, Joe. Although it only started in the summer of 2019, Three Sweets Bakery out of Dundee has quickly grown to be the baker of choice throughout the county. Laura Keeler took her passion for food and baking, combined with her business management experience, into creating delicious treats that can be found wholesale in various coffee shops, restaurants, and even business meetings in our area. When COVID-19 hit our community, Laura was renovating a newly purchased storefront, but she was not deterred. Instead, she pivoted some of the construction to her building, adding a drive-through component for added convenience and safety. With a constant smile on her face, Laura has shown not even a pandemic can slow down her plans of operating the best place for baked goods in all of Dundee, Wisconsin, and beyond. Congratulations, Laura and Three Sweets Bakery on this Entrepreneur of the Year award.
Thanks, Sarah. Well, thank you everybody at Envision as well. It wouldn't have been possible without the support of Envision to help me do my pivot and incorporate the drive-through and do some last minute plan changes. So business has been extremely good, and I couldn't do it without the support. Just like Jay and Heidi had said, it's your blood, sweat, and tears. This has been my life for the last year, and I can't thank my family enough. They've had a lot of sacrifice with the family, just time and energy, everything from my 3 little boys helping me renovate the building to emptying dumpsters and sweeping for endless days and weekends. But business has been really good, and I couldn't have done it without the support of my wholesale customers and business partners as well. My wholesale customers have been very loyal and dedicated to me. And even though they have had some rough times during COVID and maybe had slower days and down sales, we've been in constant communication, and they have been, again, very supportive and continued to support my business through their businesses as well. So I can't thank them enough. And I'm really excited to have a place like this in Dundee. Dundee is obviously a place where people come to in the summer, and there's lots of outdoor activities and fun and active things to do, but just nowhere where you can really go and sit down and eat without it being a bar. And I've got 3 young boys, and we live in Dundee, and I just really wanted to have an atmosphere that could bring families back to Dundee and make it a fun place, not only to vacation and have a good time when you're camping, but to live year round, and wanted people to have some healthier options to come with their kids as well. So it's been great so far. I really appreciate everybody's support, and thank you again, and congratulations to everybody who was nominated for an award this year. And I appreciate everything. Thank you, guys.
Well, thank you, Laura. Congratulations, and congratulations to all of our winners. Folks, we're clipping right along here with the shortest annual meeting ever. So it looks like we might have you out in under an hour. So do me a favor, with the extra time we saved you, please go out and vote if you have not already. Hit those polls. So finally, for our last speaker, I want to invite back Sadie Parafinick to offer final remarks.
Thanks, Joe. Please join me in giving all of our award recipients a virtual round of applause. This group of people and organizations represent all that is good about our area. Through their efforts and contributions, our communities continue to work together to pursue opportunities that improve economic vibrancy, strengthen community identity, and invest in the next generation. Thank you to all of you in attendance today. We truly appreciate your membership and investment in our community. Thank you to the Envision Greater Fond du Lac team for organizing this amazing event that we hopefully will never have to do via Zoom ever again. As Joe said, I want to remind you all to get out and vote today. It is one of the most important duties we have as Americans, to vote. And I also want to thank the Office of Congressman Glenn Grothman, who will be delivering congressional commendations to all of our award winners. So again, congratulations. Well, this concludes our annual meeting. Our conversations will continue. We will send each of you a follow-up email with a link to our annual report, as well as our strategic plan. On behalf of the team at Envision Greater Fond du Lac, thank you, and we wish you a wonderful and warm day.